Go.
Okay. Tell us about how you got started here.
At Square Books Junior, I ran a children's bookstore in North Carolina for about 3 years, and I inadvertently got that job. I got a degree in English with a minor in anthropology, and had moved to North Carolina temporarily, and just needed a job, and they said because of all the hobbies and fun stuff I put on my resume that I would be suited for the kids department, and it turned out I really loved it. When I came back to Mississippi and moved to Oxford, I applied at the bookstore, but it took a year for them to even talk to me. And let's see, we had a Harry Potter event, and I was one of the only people that knew had actually read Harry Potter. So I applied, but when I was 16, I had come up to Oxford with a class, Southern Writers class, and stood on the stairwell of Square Books and thought, if I could ever work at Square Books, I would just be so happy, because I'm a book nerd. So anyway, just kind of a whirlwind of my life brought me back to the South. And back
Did you grow up here?
I grew up in Pearl, Mississippi.
Oh yeah.
I went to Mississippi State, and I actually came to Oxford, honestly, just because I love Southern writers and art and music and good restaurants. And I had a friend going to law school, so I had a place to stay. And I was going to go to grad school here, but I just decided I really loved this job. So this is what I do now.
Well, good. So what does like a typical day look like for you, or like
I
some
come
of
in,
the
I make
tasks you have to
coffee,
do?
I chat. My job is largely chatting with customers, and because I order everything we have. I help pick out the toys. My boss doesn't let me order the toys yet because I think they're scared, basically, because I love toys.
She'd order them all.
But I pick out stuff and recommend it, and then she does that. I review catalogs and stuff, and then I place the orders for all the books we have. And so it's not like I place an order every day, but I'm constantly looking at what's hot across the country. I look at what's in this community important to parents and kids. It's not always the same as it is in New York or Chicago, or even Alabama. It's just different here. So I just kind of make adjustments. And honestly, I order what I like.
Because what don't you like get a box of?
I get free stuff.
Yeah, you get the free stuff.
They send me free stuff. It's everyone gets it that is a book buyer. And publishers, about 6 months before putting a book out, they put out a unfinished copy in a novel form that's called an ARC. In a picture book, it's called a F&G, which means folded and gathered. It doesn't have staples, it's just the paper sample. Although, in the past couple of years, companies have been going green, so there are fewer boxes of paper samples shipped out, because we can do a lot of the review on the computer now.
Do they like email it, or is there a website?
Well, there's a really complex program with it called Edelweiss, which took some publishers a while to warm up to, but it turned out the entire country of booksellers really appreciated fewer pieces of paper, fewer boxes of things. I mean, we all love to get the free stuff, and I certainly share it with teachers and in the community, but when it comes time to placing my order, finding all that media is really difficult. Whereas this program, I just open the program and place my order. So, I mean, it's logical. But strangely, it's taken the bookstores a while to kind of integrate to the new system, and we're not fully integrated yet.
Right.
So, we're working on there. I love doing story time.
Yeah. Tell them about story time.
Well, twice a week, every Saturday and Wednesday at 10, we have story time. I kind of call it toddler's rule. Because libraries and other places have story times. You have to be quiet, sit still, and that isn't here. Here it's just kind of an open-minded session. And just like this store is everything I like, that's how I do it.
So do you think that sets y'all apart from other children's book places around here?
Honestly, I haven't been to that many children's stores. I worked at the one in North Carolina. Just kind of did what I wanted there too, which didn't go as well as it had to. It was a corporate store, and people wanted a lot more order and structure, and I'm just not that person.
Yeah.
You know, not really. I just don't go to other. I don't have any children, so
Yeah.
I get everything I need here. I borrowed my style from like the Fonz and Cheers and Mr. Rogers and things that were influential to me growing up. But I think ultimately what I bring to story time, and we of course have a teacher who does story times on Saturdays, but there was the show Romper Room when I was a kid. And the lady had this little handheld mirror, and she would look at you, but she could see through it and figure out what your name was. And the kids were all just amazed that she always knew your name. And that's kind of what I like here is I like to know the kids' names. I want them to come in and know that I can speak to them and feel at home here. So I joke that it's kind of like Cheers for kids.
So there's a lot of regulars that come by?
Absolutely, yeah. We had to make a decision early on when we opened whether or not we wanted to let people play with stuff and hang out, because you do lose a lot of product. But we decided it was way more lucrative to have people in here all the time, and if we created a space that was really laid back and homey, that people would just want to hang out here, and that has in fact become the case.
Well, switching back to when you were more trying to figure out what you wanted to do, were there any people in particular that really helped you out?
My mama was a Sunday school teacher when I was growing up, and she was like 200% all the time. You know, all my friends were like, she's the most amazing teacher. You know, as a kid, everyone wanted to be in my mom's class because she had all these crafts and music and just a lot of love for imagination, and but that had a great influence on me. Music, I say, is probably my greatest tool. I grew up in a world where kids' music was music. It wasn't Banana Phone, you know, it was Creedence Clearwater and Aretha Franklin and Gaither Brothers, you know, and so I really kind of want, and because this is Oxford and this is a town renowned for good bands and artists and writers, I want people to come here and hear music. So that's kind of like an obsession of mine to everyone else's chagrin. I think like my coworkers have to just kind of deal with it because I want to run this like DJ of the music I like and hear it all day.
Because don't you do like a little guitar after story time?
Yeah, I play guitar after story time. My grandfather was a great fireside storyteller and musician. So I grew up listening to him play Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, and the Milk Cow Blues song I do every week. It was the first song I learned when I was 8. And so, the truth is that music is storytelling, the ancient forms of conveying history and knowledge to your people across the world, and so I think it's really important. I love to play guitar and just be silly. I've written a song, I've recorded some music before, I've lived with the band, but I'm just not I can't ever remember the lyrics.
So is that something that down the road you might pursue?
You know, I probably should have already pursued it. It's one of those several things that I was interested in that I kind of let go by the wayside. So, who knows?
Because how long have you been here?
I've been here for 7 years. I've been open since June 2003.
Because what was Square Books, was that there first and then y'all opened this?
Yeah,
Y'all are related, I mean, obviously.
Junior used to be a wall of books at Square Books. On the bottom floor, you know, and it was all of the owner's favorite things. But in his heart, Richard, he wanted to have a children's bookstore. And so, you know, he made the dream come true in 2003. And
was this
So
like
this was the first children's bookstore to open in Oxford?
in Oxford, yes, absolutely. And children's bookstores, they're, you know, our store came about in the beginning of an economic crisis. You know, and so a lot of them have gone out of business. A lot of them have tried to open during this time period, and it's not easy for a children's bookstore to survive. But thankfully, we're in Oxford, and we, you know, Richard's business premise is if you have a business venture and you can get 8 families to be loyal to you, then you will succeed. And that's how he opened Square Books. He found 8 families who promised to be loyal to his business. And it's a really Mayberry mentality, but you see in the end, a lot of people could have stuff delivered to their door, you know, but they come here and shop. And there are a lot of people who order from us who have bookstores across the street from them. They live in California, New York City, Texas. Bye, guys. But they like us. They like the way that, you know, our attitude. And we all pick out stuff that we pick out for our own families and kids.
Right.
And I think that knowing kids' names and knowing families helps us, I always say, have our finger on the pulse of the community and really kind of know not only what people want, but what people are going to like, whether they know it or not, you know. And ultimately, you know, books are good. You know, you want to read, you want your kid to be educated, but I think being fun is half of the battle, making it fun. So.
Do you have any more questions?
Well, this might be a little deeper. Do you have any advice for someone like me who's a little unsure of what they want to do?
Don't worry about it. I mean, I feel like, and this might be a really deep answer, but it's something I've thought about for a long time. Our culture has come out of the 50s with this, you know, feeling that we have to instill this, go to college, be a professional in our kids. And I think that the school system, the college system has become a racket to you know, because everyone instilled that in their kids, the college system said, okay, we can make money on this. And I think that the 4 years in college package is a package deal. It's not always feasible for everybody, and a lot of people get out with degrees and can't get a job, as we all know. I think it's more important to do what interests you and what you enjoy, and realize that not everybody's going to be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer.